Hey guys, welcome to Open Tabs, our weekly dive news and moments that are taking up space in our tabs and our brains. So thank you guys for joining as always. And okay, let's jump into it. So the drama taking up a lot of space in our heads right now is Alix Earle versus Alex Cooper. Megan, I know you in particular have been tracking this since it kind of popped off yesterday. Do you want to take us through what's happening as of this Tuesday?
Sure. So this all started, I feel like, this most recent dust up because this goes back
Yeah.
years. And in fact, I posted a TikTok about how I called that this would happen back in October 2023 when Alex Cooper and Alix Earle first got in bed together. So basically, Alex Cooper, who is, the podcast mogul that we know of from Call Her Daddy and Barstool fame, she posted a TikTok video on Monday morning calling Alix Earle out, saying basically, I see that you're shadily retweeting things or reposting things about me on TikTok because Alix Earle had indeed reposted a TikTok that called Alex Cooper an ambulance chaser and suggested that she profited off of women's trauma. And so Alex Cooper took to her TikTok and said, Alex Earle, if you have something to say, just say it. There's no NDA. And then Alix Earle commented on it, exclamation point. And so now everyone is waited with bated breath to see what Alix Earle is going to say about Alex Cooper. And the internet is discoursing about who's in the right, which side they're on, and who is going to win the war of the blonde Alexes.
It's very funny. Megan and I were TikTok DMing about this earlier, and I took a screenshot of the comment section on Alix Earle's TikTok that she posted yesterday before this kicked up, and all of them are like, release the tape. Like, what are you posting? And she has gone, I think it's over 24 hours now without posting, which is not typical for
Who
her.
has done this? Alix Earle?
Alix Earle. And I think people, we were talking about this in our little pre-call, people are skeptical, is this real? Is this
I think that this
fake?
is all made up, and it is. She's going to be on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and they're going to announce that, and it's going to be so annoying. And I listen to the podcast. I not consistently. It's usually just based on who is being interviewed. I think the last one I listened to was the Andy Cohen interview,
Mhm.
and I just find the promo stuff that Alex Cooper does to be very cheesy. I don't know why. I just don't like it. And when I approached watching her TikTok about this, where she was talking to Alix Earle, it was giving cheesy promo to me. That's all I was like, this is a promotion for the podcast. And I was like, I just think this is so lame.
Yeah. I think it's so funny how our first reaction is always like, is this even real? Just we're like, anything
I know. I
PR,
mean, it's
anything
probably maybe is
orchestrated.
I
I'm
saw
of
this.
two minds. So
Yeah.
I could see it going two ways. I could see that this is not PR or orchestrated, but it is kind of what I would say about the Kardashians is it's not so much that it's fake, but that they lean into the skid. So I could see it not
Yeah.
being a situation where this is they're texting behind the scenes, but I could see it be a situation of two influencers who know that discourse and drama is good for them. Alix Earle has a reality. So that's what I said to Emma. I was like, in the DMs, I was like, I just hope Netflix is getting all of this for us so we can watch it back later.
Yeah.
I want to see Alex's reaction waking up hungover at Coachella and watching this video and being her sister's there. I just know that this would be great content. So
Or
that's one
yeah, or
hand.
is she oh, this is so lame. Okay, Alex Cooper trying to be relevant. Good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
I was it is sort of this interesting time where it is sort of that convergence of real life and parasocial kind of happening. And I think you're right. You know, what is the latest scandal with
Oh, West
Summer
and
House? Yeah.
Amanda?
Well, Summer House. Yeah, and so, I think we all sort of talked about, like, okay, is this April Fool's? Okay, guess it kind of
Yes.
has turned out that it isn't, but it's the same idea, like, exactly what you just said, Megan, like, I hope the Bravo cameras are on.
Well,
And they
that's
did
my
that for
other
Sandoval, like, they went and, like, turned on the cameras, and so
Well, that's my other conspiracy about if this is made up, like why? How does this benefit them? And in general, I'm developing a larger conspiracy, completely made up. This is tinfoil hat territory. That the Traders is casting for next season, and they want to do besties and enemies, and they want like Hannah and Paige on the bestie side, and they want Sierra and Amanda on the enemy side, and they want like, and so people are thinking like, oh, it could be the Alexes, our enemies. And so part of me is like, how much of this is just like seeding for the next season of the Traders? Because there was a time where Hannah and Paige were talking about it a lot, and Bowen and Matt of the Las Culturistas were also talking about it a lot. And their big hang up was like, but we're best friends. Everybody knows that. And I was like, but if they had a bunch of besties, then that wouldn't be a thing. So that's my prediction. And if that's not what's happening, I think that Peacock should just make it happen because I would
yeah,
watch
I
that,
mean,
and I've never watched.
that's what I was gonna say, like, either way, even if it's, like, someone tried something and it starts, like, the snowball going, then it can turn into something else very quickly and easily, like, their teams could meet right now and be like, "Okay, what are, like, 5 things we should do out of this?" Here's my
Yeah,
question, can you weigh in on, and Emma too,
Mhm.
what's your take on the cultural relevance of both of the Alexes right now? Please do, like, a cultural relevance assessment.
well, you go first, Emma, because I feel like mine is a little bit off what she asked.
I think we like Alex Cooper had her moment in the sun with like the younger millennials, and now that they're in their 30s and like not scrolling TikTok and social media, they're not online the way they were. Her stars definitely faded a bit, and I think when like I saw Alex Cooper sign Alix Earle to the Unwell Network back in 2023, I was like, this is like the old Supreme, like trying to take out the new one before she can like fully ascend. Um, because there's like, if you don't know, there's this whole thing about like how the Unwell Network is kind of like the place where podcasts like go to die. They like people think like one a big podcast will be huge independently, it'll sign to Unwell, and then you kind of stop hearing about it. And people are like, oh, Alex just signs her like competition, and then she like never markets them.
She's like
Whereas
a
you see
vampire.
yeah, whereas, like, you'll see when a new episode of Call Her Daddy comes out, it's, like, clipped to death, and, like, if you're on TikTok or Instagram, you it feels like you can't escape it. So, I feel like Alix Earle is, like, the Gen Z equivalent to Alex Cooper. I also think, like, people have just kind of, like, soured. I think we saw, like, with Anne Hathaway, people get, like, annoyed with women when they're, like, in the spotlight for a significant amount of time, and, like, Sophia Franklin, the former co-host of Call Her Daddy, is releasing, like, what seems like a tell-all memoir titled Daddy Issues about, like, the breakdown of her partnership with Alex Cooper, so, like, I think people have their pitchforks out for her right now.
Completely agree. And I think that Alex reposting that video, calling her out, and that video specifically pointed to some of her patterns of like, this isn't just how she treated Alex, but they were like talking about Sophia. And I think that that ignited a whole discourse that was taking place over the weekend where everyone was like re examining how she built her empire and kind of getting their pitchforks ready, as you said. And so I think that this is a bit of a distraction technique to make this seem less like a pattern of behavior of like bad business and more like interpersonal beef between two women who
Mhm.
just don't like each other.
I think you might be right. I think
And I've had her number since the beginning, so I think
I
I'm right too.
know you did call it. And I genuinely do think they don't like each other. I take everything he says with a grain of salt, but Dave Portnoy, who's the founder of Barstool and was Alex Cooper's, boss, and he discovered Call Her Daddy and gave them their initial platform, has said he had before this week, he had asked both of them about the other, and they both told him, yeah, I don't like her. They wouldn't tell him why, but they were like, yeah, we don't like each other.
And I think the fact that Alex Cooper is the older person and was the boss in this dynamic, I think like there's just a bit more of a responsibility on her. Like if there was just interpersonal drama, it's still problematic that you as a businesswoman let your interpersonal drama with your employee turn into this, you know?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I know. I have like so many. I mean, to Emma's point too about like the Unwell Network. Like I'm just curious, like what is it? What is the plan? What's the vision for it? Like
Mhm.
it just doesn't feel like it's grounded in anything that feels meaningful or unique. And like I know we've talked about it, like, you know, I will compare it to what's the one Michael Bostic's
Oh, Dear Media.
Dear Media. Again, like Dear Media has a real clear like point of view. It's like uplifting female voices and there just seems to be like a system there. I just don't know what the through line is for for Unwell. It just feel again like I was saying, like feels like a vampire. Like she's like trying to take younger
Yeah.
people and like get their energy and like live off of it.
Even the fact that it's called Unwell, like, as a
I know.
woo girl, like, I wouldn't buy merchandise that says unwell. Like, that is, like, you're not gonna put negative words on your body, and to name your business Unwell, to me, is just like, no. Like,
But
It's funny. It does
in
speak
this
to
way, she did not even coin the unwell term. That was Sophia Franklin.
the other thing too. I mean, like I feel like that term to me, I dissect that, but like as an elder millennial in my like 40s now with kids, like I feel like that harkens to like my generation. Like we're more like, if I've had too many glasses of wine on the weekend with my kids and it's like "Ugh, I'm unwell." Like that's what like when I hear unwell and like I don't know if it's just totally because that's where I am in my life, but, like, when I think of, like, the larger scheme, like, I think maybe Tinks, like, I feel like Tinks uses unwell maybe a bit, like, again, it all feels like it's in the context of, like, hangovers to me, but I could be
yeah,
totally wrong, I don't know.
I think
I also
that's
think it was
such part.
drafting. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I think it was drafting off of what something like Liquid Death does,
Mm.
where they take a really, like, subversive thing, but then they carry it through everything that they do in a way that Unwell just does not.
Right. It's the lack of, like, carry through.
Yeah. And I agree with you, Melissa, that it just feels misaligned. Like when she did the Unwell rebrand, she also launched her like energy drink, like her electrolyte drink, which is, I think, also titled Unwell. And I had a sip of it. It was not mine. I did not pay for it. But I had a sip of somebody else's, and it tastes like so sugary, like tasted like super sweet and like syrupy. And I'm a sweet girl, but I was like, this is like too much. I can't imagine like a millennial, like, to your point, Melissa, like, mom who's, like, healthy, like, this is a generation that's, like, wellness focused to then be like, "I'm hungover. Let me drink this really sugary, like, loaded drink." I was like I just, like, I was like, "This doesn't make any sense to me."
That's so funny. I tried it too at Target because I was like, "Oh." I didn't look at the nutrition facts. I think I just assumed it was not full of sugar, but maybe it was. I don't know. I just, like, did it it didn't, like, hit for me either. Like, I was like, "This is a one and done. Good for her." Like, I don't wanna knock her. Like, I think she's a podcaster, and I think that that's, like, her business, and I just don't know where I guess if it's a podcast network, I just don't see that form forming.
I think she's a talent agent. Like, I think part of her issue right now is that she wants
Isn't
to be
getting
the
good
talent.
talent.
No, that she wants to be the talent, and that's why she's got more of a vampiric energy to her because that's kind of what she's doing, but, like, I really do think And this is what I said in my original take of her back in 2023 is that on Call Her Daddy, Sophia was the talent and Alex was the packager. And she was very good at packaging up Sophia's special thing and making it into a brand. And that's what an agent is very good at. And that's what a talent manager does. The problem is she then inserts herself and then takes over the things that make that person special and tries to wear them as her own. And it's inauthentic and it's not working. And it's very clear that it's not working with the Alex thing. But this is her pattern. So that's why she's imploding a little bit, in my opinion, because she's like, I don't know how to do business any other way than this. I think she needs to find a man who she won't feel as in competition with, who has a female audience, who she can brand build and have a proof of concept of this is something that I can do and kind of get over some of her issues that she has around needing to be the main character.
I think she's been trying to do that with Harry Jowsey. Like, they had that, like, I think it was a YouTube reality, or maybe it's on Hulu. I don't think it's out yet, but like a dating show or basically a Bachelor ripoff for him, where like, like
Yeah.
he's
I think she
very
needs someone
famously,
with talent. Someone
yeah.
with talent.
But he is the one out of her network of talent that I see propped up the most, and I think you
Because there's
that
there's less
yeah,
competition there because he's a
yeah.
man. Yeah. Mm.
Well, in the meantime, I am refreshing Alix Earle's TikTok feed. I'm very interested to see how this plays out.
I think she's gonna have Sophia on her YouTube show. That's
Well,
my prediction.
she did, like, I remember when Sophia announced the book, you could see Alix Earle liked.
Yeah.
Or
So I think
post.
Sophia's gonna call on the show to promote the book. And they're not gonna talk about Alex, but they're gonna kinda do what Paige and Hannah did, where
Yeah,
they'll talk about it, but not actually talk about it, you know?
I love it. I love Paige and Hannah.
yeah. Okay, so next topic. We're in between Coachella weekends right now. And I feel like I don't have too many thoughts on like weekend one. It seemed like, influencers everywhere, a million brand activations. But is interesting Justin Bieber's Saturday night headlining performance, which Megan, you called an ad for YouTube. And I think that nailed it. If you don't know, he basically sat on stage at a desk with a MacBook and a bottle of water. And on the big screen, he played his old YouTube videos because famously, when he was young, he posted singing videos and covers to YouTube. And that's how he got discovered. And he just played his old YouTube videos. He harmonized with them. And that was it. In the words of Katy Perry, good thing he has YouTube Premium, so we didn't have to see any ads. Megan, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think this has been met. It's very